Welcome back to my channel here at Tracer G. My name is Sammy. Today we're going to chart HOOD, GME, and last but not least MOBX. Before I go ahead and chart, please like the video, subscribe to my channel, and join the Discord. Folks, let's talk about Hood first. I am getting 2021 vibes all over again when Hood pretty much negated the buy option on GME. And I believe we're having the same scenario again with Hood where people are posting that Hood had an outage this morning, and when they tried to buy GME shares, calls, whatever have you, for example calls, the button was not there. The option to buy GME shares on the Robinhood app was pretty much taken out again a second time. So if that catches wind tomorrow, folks, Hood, we could see another downside momentum on Hood where they're essentially screwing investors over. Now, in terms of the chart, let's look at the chart on Hood. We are seeing a bearish engulfing candle, rightfully so, especially when you had an outage and supposedly you are screwing investors over by taking the option to buy shares or calls on GME, for example. That is a negative sentiment. And thus, what does this mean? Well, if this catches wind, first area I'm going to be looking at is exactly right here on the 5-daily EMA, roughly around 142.52. This also aligns a macro confluence on this macro trend line here. So I want to see area support act right here because it was a clean area of support, or at least the indicator was acting as support multiple times here, and obviously up until this uptrend. Now, if you fail the daily 5 EMA support, I suspect the absolute bottom on this ticker is that 10 daily EMA, and let me show you guys what I mean right here. Whoops. Right here is this white line. It has been an absolute bottom area of support. Well, how do I know? Again, look at this price action, this candle structure here, and look how it acted. The 10 daily EMA acted as support. Again, this candle clusters here. Again, this white line is my 10 daily EMA support. So if we start breaking below the 5 daily EMA plus this macro trend line, I suspect price to come back down at 137.56, test that daily EMA. And also, I want to note that we are printing bearish divergence on Hood, and it's on the daily as well. So this came out, this probably came out the worst time, the news and what they're doing. If they are doing that, then I'm sorry to say, but Hood can potentially come crashing down even further. So let's find out. We're going to see what happens tomorrow. It's not fair if it is true with the story of them canceling or taking away the buy button for GME, because if you guys don't know, tomorrow GME, great segue to jump into GME, is issuing warrants tomorrow on the 7th. So a lot of people who bought, let's say, spreads on Hood, on the Robinhood app, for example, they got completely clapped this morning, and thus some people are saying this is due to the warrants being issued tomorrow for GME. And segueing into that, we are getting a little bearish sentiment on Hood. It's not looking good. We rejected the 0.52791 Fibonacci area, and thus we are seeing the result of a continued momentum to the downside. Now, I don't suspect this to sustain itself, because now if you're issuing warrants, my understanding is that tomorrow and the next couple of days should be bullish. Now, if we are crashing down, I am seeing an area of 24.95 as a key area of support. You can see price action acted as resistance, support, and resistance, and thus we broke out of it. Now let's turn on the EMAs real quick. All right, EMA on the daily, we are touching that 100 SMA. As you can see, it was acting as support. You break below that, you also are. This is why I said the 2484 will be area of a nice area, nice area of support. You break below the 100 SMA, you got the 50 EMA plus another area of support or resistance at that time. So this would be a nice area, 2481. Get in there, get out, and then start making moves to the upside. Nothing really breaking on GME right now. We are below the center line. We are crossing the MACD and the signal. The MACD crosses signal above the center line on the MACD. So not really worried on GME. Still relative. It's pretty much inside a scallop if you have to look at it from a broad perspective, right? Like, look. All right. And typically with scallops, you want to see a retracement of 32% from the peak high to peak low, from local low. So let's grab the info bar. Let's just, not all the times it works. When you have the scallop, 32% retracement is a nice number ratio where we look at for potential reversal. Okay, this is 10% still, but they don't always pan out. Scallops don't always pan out. but it's nice to see them at least being seen on the daily here on GME. So we'll monitor this and see what's going to happen. But we are finding key area support. It's just, you know, something funny happened today with Hood. People couldn't buy GME. I don't know, getting 2021 vibes all over again. So let's see if we can hold 2484 on Hood going into tomorrow, especially when you have the warrants being issued. We're going to monitor this very closely. So let's see. MOBX, last but not least, having a granular day. Like today was just absolutely bonkers. Like 20% I saw earlier today was like right out. It was roughly 20% gains. Close at 17%. So where am I going with MOBX? Obviously, MOBX, do not FOMO into this if you don't know how to be patient. MOBX is building its legs right now. As you see this white box here I drew is a key area of resistance. We must break above this key area of resistance to actually start making new higher highs and higher lows. And your max wall, your max pain is this 236, $1.16 level area, which was a clean area of resistance for days and weeks. We might get actually there. We might actually get there this week, but I suspect another rejection area. We just don't have enough reason why this should be $1, right? The market doesn't value MOBX over $1. It's just having headlines, consolidation, moves, and then back down to dips, right? But if you didn't buy a support at 82 cents here, well, it's already too late, in my opinion, to get in at these highs, right? Because if you hit, you're gonna sacrifice. You're gonna make 5% potentially, let's say this week, and then maybe come back down 28%, right? From a risk reward, does that make sense to you? If we have potentially 17% right off this box, right? It's been a key area of resistance, right? And then you buy here tomorrow. Let's say tomorrow. You buy tomorrow, right? And then it gets rejected at the 236. 27% versus 24%. I don't know. Which one are you willing to take? What kind of risks are you willing to stomach, right? It might not even get up here. It might even touch a 236 and just completely reject it. Well, now your odds are definitely not in your favor just to make 5%, 6% trades, okay? Just to have maximum pain to the downside. The risk reward is not there. Not financial advice, but look left. Super risky. 236 here, were always rejected. And once you rejected the 236, it came crashing down. So MOBX, not a good time to buy. It's already too late. Wait for the pullback, then get in, okay? I'm looking, or at least I'm eyeing. I personally am eyeing to get 0.5, 91 cents. If this thing does hit the 236, then come back down and touches the 0.5, make a new higher low, all right, higher low, then that would be really nice because then you can argue, you know, you make a new higher highs, higher low, you come back at a key area support. Now you can even, you can visualize a trend line being drawn here, right? A trend line, right? But that's good story for MOBX. Higher high, higher low. Well, technically it'd be a new lower high based off this trend, but it's not the end of the world, okay? So MOBX is just a growth story, patient story, penny stock story. It is still risky, but honestly, this is looking really good. 20% on the day. Woof. Really nice to see. So thank you for tuning in. Please like the video, subscribe to my channel, and join the Discord. It's all free, folks. Thank you.